Okay, we are going to begin. Just want to start just with a note that this session will be recorded for folks who were unable to join us this evening. So please, if you would like to turn your camera off, or if you just want to be cognizant that will be recorded here tonight, just passing that information along to you right now at the outset. I just want to extend a very, very warm welcome to everyone for joining this evening and taking time out of your busy schedule to join with myself and Mrs. Warnicki, the other half of the student support team here at Riffel. And also joining us is Mr. Hockel virtually as well, principal of Riffel High School. So on behalf of the entire staff, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for taking the time, investing the time in getting to know a little bit about Riffel High School and ensuring that that bridge for your child from elementary to high school is a really positive one, is one of support. And of course, this is also an opportunity for you to ask questions if you have any that arise. Speaking of questions, my colleague, Kyla Warnicki and Mr. Hockel also will be overseeing the chat. So if you wish to type a question in the chat, they will field those questions as I'm going here. And feel free, also Mr. Hockel and Mrs. Warnicki, to just interrupt me if there are questions that would be best fielded just with conversation. Just let me know and I can just pause the presentation. So without further ado, here we go. Welcome. And I want to say special welcome to grade 8 students that decided to join in on the parent guardian info night. So little shout out to you guys. Hope you enjoyed your Royal for a Day virtually today, as well as the pizza lunch that we supplied you. So we hope that was a neat experience for you all. I'd like to start out with a land acknowledgement. We wish to acknowledge that we are blessed to live and work alongside tremendous educators and wonderful students on Treaty 4 territory, traditional lands of the Nehiyawak, Nakaway, Nakota, and homeland of the Métis, Lakota, and Dakota nations. Also, if you wish to join in prayer, in the name of the Father, the Son, Holy Spirit, Amen. Dear Lord, a house is a building, whereas a home is a place where people are connected to one another, care for each other, learn and grow together. A home is a place where every person feels welcomed and loved. Lord, we know that everyone at Riffel is trying to make this place something more than a building. We are trying to make Riffel a home away from home. And we ask that your welcoming spirit be evident as we meet with our future students and their parents and guardians this evening. May your loving presence be with us as we welcome all to our Riffel family and help prepare the foundation for a wonderful experience here, learning and growing in our faith and in our academics and relationships. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. We are blessed to have Mr. John Stevenson joining us this evening. He is our C.S.C.C chairperson. Our Catholic School Community Council provides funding and some direction and engagement with our school community. They fund certain initiatives and endeavors here, and they are a really supportive voice for our entire school community. So Mr. Stevenson is here with us. We're lucky to have him tonight to extend an invitation to yourselves to get involved in the C.S.C.C. And if it's okay with him, we would also share his email address to you folks if you wish to get in contact with him. So if Mr. Stevenson is out there, if he could unmute his mic and just bring greetings at this time.
I'm here. And thank you and good evening. So as Lisa said, I'm John Stevenson, and as chair of the C.S.C.C, it's my honor to welcome you here to the next step of your educational journey, both students and parents, as you prepare to attend Michael A. Riffel Catholic High School this September, and a place that your children will forever refer to as just Riffel. High school is an amazing period of everyone's lives. It marks the transition to being a teenager and to being a young adult. And as a highlight, it does include driver's education and getting your license and learning that turn signals aren't optional. Red lights or right turns at a red light do mean coming to a full stop first. And yes, parallel parking is still part of that road test. From a C.S.C.C perspective, there are some similarities and some differences from being involved with the C.S.C.C in elementary school. The main similarity is a commitment to working with teachers and school administration to provide the best learning environment and experiences for our children. At the high school level, that includes the challenges of having grade levels that can be somewhat similar to the size of the school population of St. Bernadette, St. Jerome, St. Josephat, or St. Nicholas. A key difference for our high school C.S.C.C is the source of C.S.C.C funds. While fundraising and fundraising activities are a wonderfully major effort of elementary school C.S.C.Cs, at Riffel, the C.S.C.C operates from funds raised by an annual fee paid per student, which is currently $30. Another key difference for the C.S.C.C is how we as a C.S.C.C interact with and partner with the school. While classroom volunteering is now a thing of largely of the past, saving great embarrassment for high school students, participating in the C.S.C.C and the decisions made by the C.S.C.C becomes even more critical for parents and guardians. The school does great work creating funding requests that not only include grades 9 through 12, but also address all of the curriculum areas. From math to science to music to practical and applied arts, industrial arts, to the resource center, to physical education, to arts education, to That's Possible, to workplace and apprenticeship math, and to FIP and the SRC. The list is long and in some ways includes all the students. In the last 2 years, some of the specific items that have been funded included the piano fund, digital microscopes, canvases and supplies for art therapy, bookshelves, jukeball nets, script and license purchase, sound system, backdrop curtains, daily fruit availability in the commons area, Catholic studies development material, 3D printers, calculators, electronic balances, golf discs, math, logic, reasoning, strategy materials, and print bed levelers for digital design and 3D printing. As you'll hear later, while students can greatly add to their high school experience by participating in extracurricular activities, parents and guardians should consider volunteering for the C.S.C.C as their extracurricular opportunity. Our next C.S.C.C meeting is March 8th, and you're more than welcome to contact the office if you'd like to attend. And even more so, our AGM is May 10th, and we look forward to your joining us to see how you can help our children have the best high school learning and growth experience possible. Many hands make light work, and many perspectives make for the best discussions and decisions. Please contact me or the school if you have any questions, and thank you.
Terrific. Thank you, Mr. Stevenson. Thanks also for providing the ways to contact you. And Mrs. Warnicki is going to not only include contact information, but as the presentation goes, there will be some helpful links connected to what we are discussing in the presentation at that time. So thank you again, Mr. Stevenson, and we look forward to having more families on board to take part in the C.S.C.C for Riffel here for extra support.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Next up, I turn the mic over to Mr. Hockle, our principal. We're lucky to have him with us tonight. He is going to bring administrative greetings.
Good evening. I hope everyone's having a great evening. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Ms. Warnicki, Kyla. Thank you for joining us this evening. a big welcome to the amazing roster of families that we have showing up here this evening. We have 78 families represented online, which is outstanding. That's a great indication of our of the future and what it holds for our building. I want to say, Lisa, your prayer was outstanding. What you mentioned about building a home for our students is so important to us. We fight for that every single day. We try to create a welcoming and a warm environment for every single one of our students so that when they show up, they feel good about their adventures that lie ahead of them, and they're feeling confident to take on the day. So that's a perfect lane of the groundwork of what our school is really all about. And again, this evening is really informational, and there will be questions that come up. Please do not hesitate to ask those questions in the chat. We'll get to all of them. If we do not know the answer to your question, we'll for sure get it for you, and we can get that information back to you. I was typing away in the chat when Lisa threw the mic over to me, just some details about our C.S.C.C. We can't say enough about our wonderful crew of parents and guardians that are connected to our school and all the wonderful things that they do for us. One little note that John didn't mention, I was going to jump in on him, but I didn't want to interrupt. Our roster for our C.S.C.C is very veteran heavy, you could say. We have a large collection of people that are connected to kids in their grade 12 year. And we're trying to build from the bottom up, so to speak, and we'll have a large collection of grade 8s coming in, and we'd love to see some families connected. So please do not hesitate to get involved. The commitment is low. You have an opportunity to learn more about the school and the wonderful engagement opportunities that we offer, and be connected to having our school grow in a number of really cool ways. So please don't hesitate to get involved. And if you want to check out a meeting, you can do so. Our next one is the 8th of March, and we'll do that face-to-face, and I think we'll be able to do that virtually as well, so if you want to hop on. And the last thing I do want to say is, and Lisa will probably get to this at some point here, but today was our virtual spend a day for our kids, and I hope that they had a wonderful day, and I'm sure they had lots of things to say and lots of questions. We also are going to do everything in our power to get the kids into the building. We're super excited about that opportunity. The restrictions lifting and our present realities are, as we all know, have changed quite a bit over the last little bit. So we are already in the midst of exploring some possible days and some possible opportunities for your kids to get into our building and see what a real day inside our building is all about, which is really, really exciting because we haven't had that opportunity for a couple of years now. So we're excited about that opportunity, and we'll keep you posted. And we're looking at a spring visit just so that our kids can get in and get their feet wet to see what our building's all about. But Lisa, that was a really long administrative greeting. I'm going to mute my mic, and I'll pop in whenever need be, okay? Thanks so much for coming tonight, folks.
Thanks, Mr. Hockel. So again, we want to say formally, welcome 2026 graduates. If you didn't have a chance to watch our Royal for a Day video, Mr. Hockel states this in his admin address in that video. 2026 seems like a long ways away, but it comes really quickly. And not only the C.S.C.C in terms of parent engagement, but all of the cool activities, initiatives, athletics, academic pieces, all of those neat little activities for your child to get involved in is really going to make the time fly by. And not that we wish for that, but it does tend to happen when students embark on grade 9. That 4-year time span goes fairly quickly. So welcome 2026 graduates. As mentioned, my name is Lisa Hansen. I'm excited to be with you tonight and be a bit of an MC for our event. And as mentioned, Mrs. Kyla Warnicki is also overseeing the chat and involved here, as well as Mr. Hockel. And we connect with elementary schools to ensure a really good move over to high school and make sure that comfort level is up there for students in making that big, wonderful jump into high school. We also engage in personal counseling, which is another service that Mrs. Warnicki and I offer here, as well as post-secondary planning, investigation, and then course selections during grades 9 through 12, which support those post-secondary plans that students have. So that's kind of our role in a nutshell. Our motto here at Riffel is uphold the cross, capture the crown. And really, it is a strong foundation, a strong rooting in our Catholic faith, abiding by the principles, morals, and values of the Catholic faith, and having those permeate throughout academics, all the social activities, the emotional supports, like I mentioned, the personal counseling and all the ways that we support students here, and of course, developing spiritually. We do all of those things as we strive for excellence, so that capturing of the crown. So that is one of our mottos, uphold the cross, capture the crown. And the other you will see in the double R's at the bottom of your screen, which of course stands for Riffel Royals, but also respect and responsibility. So those two descriptors also permeate throughout Riffel High School and all that we say and all that we do and all that we kind of endeavor to do to support each other and ourselves. Tools for success. We kind of discussed these with your grade 8 children in our classroom visits over the past week. We've been really lucky to, as Mr. Hockel says, with things shifting and our ability to kind of get out into classrooms and visit with students. Mrs. Warnicki and I really highlighted these 4 tools for success, and they're no secrets to your child, as they have practiced these tools from kindergarten through grade 8 and are simply going to continue on in high school, bringing these tools with them to grade 9 and living them out in the classroom and within the activities they get involved in. Number 1, regular and punctual attendance is going to lead to all sorts of exciting activities. It's going to lead to all sorts of learnings in the classroom, all sorts of wonderful relationships and connections. So attending on time regularly is probably the top key to success here at Riffel. Also coming with a positive and willing attitude. So just really taking every opportunity that comes a student's way as an opportunity for growth and engagement and connection. Number 3, completion of assignments. So ensuring that, I think number 3 and 4 go hand in hand, in fact, but ensuring that you're coming prepared for class, making sure that you're reviewing your notes, making sure that your binder is organized, and then if you aren't using some sort of calendar or planning tool to track completion needs for assignments and homework pieces, maybe starting to introduce some of those little support pieces in grade 8 and making sure that you're logging assignments and keeping on top of due dates. Sorry, I'm going to do the YMCA dance here once in a while to keep my lights on. So those are our tools for success. Again, your child is well versed in these tools and should just bring them with that student and continue to carry them out here at Riffel. So we talk about what students bring with them as far as tools and their preparedness and their enthusiasm and willingness and openness. But we also need to talk about how we will support your child in times of need. And so that, yes, of course, your child will come prepared, but sometimes just an extra helping hand or a little bit of support once in a while is will get students through a rough patch, or will keep them kind of achieving where they want to be achieving in all sorts of ways. So we'll just run through a few supports that we offer here at Riffel in no particular order. However, we will start with student services. Mrs. Warnicki and myself, as mentioned, we are the student services team here at Riffel, providing, as mentioned, personal counseling, post-secondary counseling. Students can simply walk in for those supports, or they can make appointments with us. Families are welcome to email or call us, and also just engage with us in terms of any questions that you may have regarding counseling or courses or post-secondary information you're looking for. We also have a family support worker that joins our student support team, and she is available on referral basis if our student support team feels that it may be helpful to have a support worker assist a family in, say, communication building or reconnecting broken relationships, things like that. With your permission, we may connect you with a family support worker, or at least introduce that as a possibility for support if needed. We also have a drug and alcohol counselor employed by the school division who spends 1 day a week offering drug class, which is an optional class for students to take part in, basically to build understanding and awareness of the impacts of drug and/or alcohol addiction, other addictions as well. And doesn't have to be a student personally struggling with this. Again, it's to build awareness. Perhaps the student has a friend or family member who is who's having a tough time, and the student is just looking for a little bit of education or information to just assist them in understanding and getting through that tough time. We have an Indigenous high school advisor who is with us 3 days a week. Her name is Sam Wilson. She is great at building relationships with all students, Indigenous students as well, connecting those students to helpful resources in order to ensure school success. We have timetabled EAL classes, so it's called an EAL program, supporting culturally and linguistically diverse students in achieving grade level outcomes in regular classroom. So as we are receiving registrations from elementary schools, we would have some of these supports would perhaps be checked off by, say, the learning resource teacher or the EAL teacher as just a flag to continue to support students in certain ways once they get to Riffel. Continuing on, we have a nutrition program just in our commons area, sort of like a canteen, traditional canteen, offering healthy snacks at a very reasonable price. Also hot lunches during the week in the neighborhood of $4 or so. Things ranging from spaghetti and meat sauce to butter chicken and pierogies and sausage, things like that. So really great food made from scratch here, and as I mentioned, at a reduced cost, so students can engage in that program if they wish. We also have a grade 9 mentorship program. We have a staff member who, again, kind of by referral, so referral by the student support team and with your permission, we would connect a student who could use just a little bit of help with organization and some goal setting and those really positive things, to do kind of a pull-out one-on-one, maybe once a week with that student, just to help reorganize the binder or create kind of a logging system for assignments and homework and that sort of thing. So that's the grade 9 mentorship program. We offer learning resource, and I get into that program a little bit more in depth just in the next few slides, so I'm just going to leave that for a moment. Tutorial periods, we offer those periods typically to students who are feeling maybe a little challenged in some of the core classes. So sometimes we would coordinate with you and the student, maybe a pull-out of the student from an elective course, and we would perhaps sub in what's called a tutorial period, so a supervised teacher-supported period where that student could just get a little more catch-up time in those core classes, just ensuring those foundational classes those courses are met in terms of achieving those credits. We also offer peer tutoring. This is typically by teacher referral or student mentor referral or even student referral themselves. Students can come to student services and just indicate, again, maybe just having a little challenge in one of their classes and could really be helped by a grade 11 or 12 student who has a kind of a keen interest in a certain subject area and who wants to give of their time. So we would connect that grade 9 or 10 student with a peer tutor, and they would meet maybe once or twice a week during the lunch hour or a time that works for them, just to get them going again and feeling comfortable in that particular class. Grade 9 students will take 10 classes over the course of the year. You will see these in your registration booklet. They are Catholic Studies, English Language Arts, English and Math, in fact, are taken for the entire year, so one per semester. Social Studies, Science, Arts Education, Health and Physical Education, and then one choice of either French or Practical and Applied Arts 9. So those 10 classes round out an entire grade 9 academic year. If you are a family, if your child is, if your child is coming into grade 9 and is engaged in some activities that sometimes overlap with school time, we just want to let you know that Riffel High School can build a flexible schedule to accommodate some training that may overlap with school time. So that would look like perhaps a student who has training that runs over the noon hour and may creep into the afternoon. Just send Mrs. Warnicki or myself a note and we'll include our contact information. If this sounds like you in terms of your family needs for flexibility, just know that Student Services can work with you to create a little bit more of a flexible schedule to accommodate those needs. So how would we accommodate that? It would likely be through something like a learning online class, which is a class that is housed fully in terms of the course content, videos, and assignments are all packaged within that learning online portal. And we would timetable that particular class in the very spot where the student needs that flexibility for time. So it would likely be through something like a hybrid schedule with some face-to-face and a little bit of learning online to add a little bit of flexibility to your child's day. So we will get into, as I mentioned, I was going to discuss learning resource in a little bit more detail, that student support list piece. So we'll do that within this section. So we offer specific programming to meet ELA or math needs. We recognize the fundamental nature of those two subject areas. All subject areas are fundamental. We understand English and math. We offer, however, 3 kind of access pathways depending on the learning style, learning needs of your child. So we'll go through those pathways a little bit here. The first that is listed is regular programming. And what I like in regular programming too is really how your child is faring kind of in their current grade 8 classroom. We would say that that is regular programming, and the tent for regular programming is really large. There really is space for every learner in regular programming, and that is by and large what students and families select for ELA math programming. There's another pathway that is called learning resource, and it's sometimes indicated with an LR, and that may be how it's indicated or designated in your registration booklet. So there's a learning resource English and a learning resource math opportunity. A student can select regular ELA and say learning resource math if they wish, or vice versa, or both ELA and math learning resource. And what learning resource is it leads to the very same curricular outcomes of regular programming and of pre-AP, in fact. So all three of those pathways lead to the very same destination. How learning resource would approach that, that journey to that destination would be through, I would say, more pausing on foundational concepts during English and math. So pausing to really achieve overall classroom comfort with a concept before moving on. And so really the journey, but with a few more stops along the way to build understanding. Okay. So if we shift now to pre-AP, or like the advanced placement kind of prep pathway. So again, same destination as learning resource and regular programming, same destination. But this journey would have likely supplemental reading, supplemental questions, maybe some extra stories or another novel to read in English, maybe some supplemental math, expectation for maybe a little bit more homework than the regular programming, and a real strong ability to do independent work and to take on a little extra rigor and supplemental materials. So if you can maybe kind of gauge as during this conversation where your child might enter ELA or math in one of those three kind of entry points. The best person for you, however, to connect with, to make those decisions on programming for ELA and math would be your grade 8 teacher. So we really encourage, if you have questions about your child's learning style or where that child might fit in terms of choosing a pathway in these two classes, the best, maybe the expert is definitely your child and yourselves, but also that grade 8 teacher, to really connect with that person and see what is right for your child in terms of making those selections. So just a little bit more on the Learning Resource Program. When we receive registration forms from elementary schools, we will take a look at what families have selected. We will liaise with the grade 8 teachers, and learning resource teachers will also connect and ensure that course choices are aligning with student need and student support, and we may reach out if we have questions to yourselves. So just a reiteration, learning resource classes achieve the same curricular outcomes, okay? And just to really keep that connection with your child's grade 8 teacher if you have questions about those three pathways and your child's kind of entry into English or math in one of those three pathways. Also, if you have further questions about the program itself, please reach out to Mrs. Warnicki or myself, and we'll be happy to kind of walk you through that information a little bit more. The pre-AP program at Riffel High School, really as it pertains to grade 9s that are coming in, we offer ELA and math pre-AP. Students can opt in grade 9. They can check it out. If it ends up not being a positive fit for them, or they're, maybe wanting to step back and try regular, we could have those conversations perhaps about a switch to regular in semester 2 if the schedule can facilitate that. But for sure, students aren't locked into the pre-AP pathway all the way through. It's encouraged, but if a student would like to opt out, maybe in grade 10, they're welcome to do so. The opposite of that is also true. If a student chooses regular math and ELA, there's certainly opportunity to be challenged in both of those. But if a student wishes to take on a little bit more challenge, we can perhaps look at opting in semester 2, but in all likelihood, grade 10, the student could end up opting into those advanced English and math classes and carry on in the program at that time. So I just want to restate, students who choose this pathway should be quite motivated and certainly open to the challenge of a rigorous academic program. Again, we can't stress it enough to keep the communication lines open with a grade 8 teacher and really probe them and ask them their perspective on the program. Okay, we'll carry on here. I just want to add, this is down the line, but if you're wondering what AP stands for, maybe I can fill that in a little bit. So AP stands for Advanced Placement. It's an international program similar to International Baccalaureate, or IB is kind of the complementary program. So Advanced Placement programs here at Riffel, we offer grade 9, 10, and 11 advanced courses, kind of prepping students for that formal AP class in grade 12 in several subject areas, including psychology, art, English, calculus, and there's a computer science option that's supported through Learning Online. But Advanced Placement, then International, has an exam that students around the world write in May in their grade 12 year, and dependent upon the score in that exam, students may have their first year university course in that particular subject area waived for them. So it's a kind of a dual achievement, if you will, depending upon the score in that international exam. That's down the line, but just a little information on Advanced Placement. Okay, back to grade 9. The elective class that you will end up selecting is a choice between French 9 or PAA Design/Applied Technology. So French 9 continues the core French program that is part of grades 5 to 9. However, there may be some gaps in the French programming that your child took part in. We are cognizant of that. Students can freely and openly sign up for French 9, even if there are gaps in their French education up to this point. So don't write that off as an option. Keep it open. If it is of interest to you, make sure and select it. The other elective opportunity is the PAA Design Applied Technology credit. So there are 2 components to that credit, which include a food studies experience for half the semester, and then an industrial arts or applied technology experience for the other half of the semester. So those are the 2 elective options you'll note in your registration form. So just to kind of plot those 10 classes into a grid as a visual, you'll see those 10 classes here broken into semesters. So semester 1 takes place early September until the end of January. And at the end of that semester, there would be a course finalization in each of those classes of some sort, whether it's project-based or sort of traditional final written exam-based. So those 5 classes carry on for those 5 months, and then we turn around to semester 2 at the start of February, which carries till the end of June, again ending with those course finalization pieces. So you'll see English it is in semester 1. It also is present in semester 2. Math is in semester 1 as well as semester 2. And then the other subjects occur just once throughout the year. If your child has a passion for music or would like to develop a passion for music, these opportunities are open to all students. These are what we call early bird or lunch classes. They occur outside of this, outside of the school day on here. If you would imagine right where kind of semester 1 and semester 2 are written in the chart, there's an early bird period kind of. We could pretend that was a period, that's where early bird would occur. And there's also a lunch period that would be just after third period on the grid here. And the early bird and lunchtime period, they house these exciting opportunities: choral, vocal, jazz, and band. And they occur a few times per week, just outside of that school time there. So we like to give a plug to these classes as an opportunity for students to create and express together, to build community together, to join together to sing and to play music is a wonderful thing. So we hope that all students consider and their families consider checking these off. It does involve a commitment of time outside of that traditional school day, so just something to be aware of on those opportunities. We have a wide array of extracurricular programs, including a variety of clubs, you'll see listed there, a variety of sports to challenge any student. So our hope is, and we kind of go through this list in the grade 8 classroom visits and discuss each of them a little bit, but our hope is that students that are coming in really see themselves as in some of these. They imagine themselves as taking part, as building, as we've mentioned a few times in the presentation, building relationships, building connections, developing leadership skills, developing service work that is so important to us in developing our faith and our commitment to each other. So we hope that students, again, see themselves reflected, their interests reflected in these clubs and activities and sports here listed. And we encourage them to get involved. And how do you get involved? Well, students will hear in announcements really early on and all the way through the school year different opportunities to sign up. So the particular teacher or staff member who is connected to these clubs and sports will put an announcement in the daily announcements and a location for sign up, and of course encouragement for students to get involved. So if students kind of keep an ear open to these opportunities and then go to those particular locations and have conversations with those teachers to get involved and engaged, just enhances the high school experience. We invite you to follow us on social media or check out our website on the internet. We have a YouTube channel which houses the Royal for a Day video, which we're going to include in the chat here for you. We're involved on Instagram. We have a presence on Twitter as well, and a really informative website. So if you want to check those out in the meantime to see some of the amazing activities our students are involved in, upcoming events, opportunities for parent-guardian engagement and student engagement, kind of gives you a glimpse into who we are as a school community, our culture here. So we invite you to follow us, get engaged in those pieces, and check out what we're all about. Our Riffel Royal Mart, can't say enough about it. We have amazing Riffel gear courtesy of Mr. Hockle and a number of other staff who collaborate in the style department here, and we have a a huge style department here at Riffel. Look at some of those hoodies and other swag pieces there in the visual. We encourage you, if it is your wish, to get some spirit wear or other spirit materials. Check out our main page. You'll see the banner across the top. There's a spot that says School Life. There'll be a drop-down menu there that says Spirit Wear Store. There's tons of merchandise there. It's amazing. Check it out. There's the method of payment is on there, so you can check the inventory, you can check the styles, you can select, and you can pay right in the Spirit Wear Store link there. So if that's of interest to you, please check it out. Registration forms. Your child will have the registration form. You may have completed it already. Thank you for your attention to that. If you have outstanding questions, please link up with your child's grade 8 teacher or connect with Riffel Guidance at rcsd.ca, and we can answer your questions regarding the registration form. If those registration forms are complete, thank you. You feel free to return them to your child's grade 8 teacher ASAP. Mrs. Warnicki and myself are going to head out and pick up any early submitted registration forms from our associate schools. Otherwise, if you need a little extra time, no problem. We're going to ask that you submit them following the February break on Tuesday, March the 1st, as kind of our deadline for those to be into your child's grade 8 teacher. And Ms. Warnicki and I will come and pick those up from the associate schools again. Also, non-associate schools, if the word on the street is to come to Riffel and non-associate school grade 8s, their access point for those registration forms would be in the online version. So that can be found also on our main page as well. If you wish to drop off your child's registration form at Riffel, feel free to do that as well, just at the main office. So I think that's about it on registration forms. If you have questions, please reach out. And as I mentioned, my colleagues are overseeing the chat, and not sure if there are outstanding questions that require a response together or if they've been addressed in the chat. Maybe just let me know.
Kyla's just typing an answer in regards to a question oral and whether or not it's credited or not.
Okay. Okay, does it appear as though questions have been answered? Are there other questions that we can help with tonight? And I feel like they've, oh, there's another one that just came in.
Sorry, I think it might be easier at this point to just speak up. The question was, what if you have very little French experience? Our grade 9 French teacher totally recognizes that COVID has truly impacted the delivery of French in the elementary level, so I don't feel that that would be a concern at all.
Okay.
I think it looks pretty clear, Lisa. We may have to do one final call for questions. Like Kyla said, you can flip your mic on and you can ask a question now, or you can type it into the chat. But I think this will be last call for questions. And of course, if you ever have come up with another question, if it doesn't come up right now, feel free to reach out to the school, and you can reach out to Lisa or Kyla or in the main office here, and Kyla's just supplied the Riffel guidance email for everybody, and I don't know. Lisa, I don't need to put it in the final words, but you can go ahead.
You're doing a great job. Just leave you hanging there. Okay. Thank you again for joining us this evening. It's been great connecting with you. We wish we could have done it in person. We're hoping that we can just do all of that stuff in the years upcoming, but thank you for being so flexible and being engaged in this way virtually. We really appreciate your time, your attention, your engagement, and most importantly, for choosing Riffel. Please reach out if you have questions. If this isn't the format for you to ask a question, we totally get it. If you want to email us, totally fine. Also reach out and call. And as mentioned, grade 8 teachers are terrific sources of information and connection and bridging and all of that good stuff. So with that, I'm going to say thank you for joining us and take care out there. Have a terrific evening. Have a wonderful February break. If you have a break in there, at least family day. And take care. I'll hang out for a few minutes just while people exit.
I was just wondering, do the class schedules come in the mail, or do we get emails, or how do we get the class schedules once they're set?
Mr. Hochul?
Yeah, for sure. So there was a time when we used to do a whole bunch of mailing. We've moved away from mailing, and what we'll send out as we get into the kind of near the end of this school year and into the summer, you'll receive information on how you can access your child's My School Sask account, and then within your My School Sask account, you'll be able to see your child's timetable there. And then, of course, if you have questions about that timetable, we have 2 staff that are that work all summer that are available for support, and also our guidance counselors. They come back near the end of right at the end of the summer, and with a few days left before our teachers get there to support any sort of like timetable questions also. So, hope that answers the question.
Yep, thanks.
I'll wait too, Lisa.
Okay. Everyone's gonna wait.
No.
It's good. I like hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great to be with you all. Anyway, I see people are signing off. Again, feel free if you feel you have your questions answered. It was great spending time with you all. We look forward to having you join in the special place that is Riffel, and bring your story and bring your gifts and all of that great stuff, and just continue to make this place a great place that it is. So have a great night, everybody. Take care.
Please, Kyle, it'll be me and you till the end. So.
Did Lisa leave?
I was just watching. Yes, I was just watching the numbers of people go down. It's a little bit like a reverse telemiracle. Number goes down slowly, but okay. That's yeah. Thanks again. I'm gonna head her. So we'll see you tomorrow morning.
Sounds great. Have a great night.
Good night.
Okay, bye. Good night, everyone.